rumble of a race car, the dust off a dirt track, and the unending drive to be the best. This is no hobby. It's a way of life. And the folks who live this life day in and day out are no ordinary racers. They are the Dirt Knights. The fertile farmland, lakes, and prairies of the upper Midwest. It's a scenic backdrop for some of the most competitive short track racing in the country. And for 1 week every summer, it's the center of the dirt modified racing world, as many of the country's best modified drivers and their teams gather for 7 grueling nights of wheel-to-wheel paint trading competition on the IMCA Dakota Classic Modified Tour. The tour winds its way through North Dakota and into southern Saskatchewan, Canada, with close to 100 modifieds battling for nightly feature wins and an overall points title. It's the kind of competition that draws the best of the best, and this week that includes Jason Walla, Johnny Scott, Cody Bauman, Hunter Marriott, and Corey Drips, the Dirt Knights.
You know, there's a lot of good competition up here. They always have slick racetracks during their weekly stuff, so there's a lot more guys up here that can win these races than people think.
Hunter Marriott, the pilot of the Rage chassis number 62, is one of the hottest young drivers in the game and happens to be the defending Dakota Classic Modified Tour champion.
It's an addiction. It's, you know, we take time off, but really, race car drivers never take time off. I mean, I work in the shop pretty much every chance I get when we're at the house because you just got to get better, you know. You're always worried about being faster than everybody else, and even if you're out doing stuff with your family and friends, most of the time you're still thinking about your racing program. So most of the time it's just, you just take a break from it just to think about what you're doing. But it's a totally different lifestyle. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people never get it, but the people that do understand it are in it for life.
Hunter won't get his first shot at the Jamestown Speedway until the 9th heat race of the night, and he'll have some familiar company when he does. The 31 of Corey Drips, one of the original Dirt Knights, will also fire it up in Heat 9.
All right, we're just getting ready to go out here in hot lap at Jamestown Speedway. Basically just trying to go out and figure out if we're close on the gear and make sure our spring and shock package feels in the ballpark. It's a higher bank, tighter corner places than what we've been, so we'll probably use a little bit stiffer right rear spring than what we've been on before, and we'll have to adjust our shock package accordingly. So we'll just go make a couple laps and see how we feel.
Another guy with a keen interest in tonight's hot lap session is Cody Bauman of Eureka, Illinois, in the Harris chassis number 4 car. Cody and his brother Brock form a racing team known as the Bash Brothers, and in the weeks leading up to this tour, they've been involved in a whole different kind of race. A race to get 2 brand new cars built from the ground up and ready for the track.
We've got about 8 nights on my car, we've got about 5 on Brock's car, so they are fresh out of the box, and neither of us have driven anything in about 6 months before now, so we're shaking the rust off pretty quick, having to.
I wish we could have had a few more laps around there, get to know the track a little bit better, because that's kind of the, it doesn't really matter how good your car is set up. If you're not getting around the track the right way, then you're never going to be fast, doesn't matter what you change. So I wish I could have had a few more laps, but I mean, that's kind of what happens when you tour. You don't have a whole lot of time to test. You just get out there and you go.
Sometimes you can just tell when you get on the track that a car is pretty fast just in your warm-up lap. So I knew it was quick, and we took off and going down into the first corner, I threw in there 3 wide and ripped the left side door off. Well, then they threw a caution flag.
Darren Schatz goes around. He's down at turn number 1 and 2. Caution will come out. Whoa, more action as they slip and slide and spin down at turn number 3.
I had to pull down to the infield because my door was hanging off there. They cut part of my door off.
Not even a half lap into his first heat with the new car, and Cody Bauman is already straightening sheet metal. But will it slow him down? We'll find out when Dirt Nights returns. The Dirt Nights are in Jamestown, North Dakota for night 1 of the IMCA Dakota Classic Modified Tour. And after a rough start, the 4-car of Cody Bauman is back on the track in Heat 2.
Out of the turn, green is out once again.
On the restart, did the exact same thing. I didn't rip the door off again because it was already messed up, but just went down in there 3 wide and the thing stuck and it was fast.
Tyler Jeffrey makes it stick and drives into the second place spot. Now he's up with the cushion as the field comes out of the corner. Jesse Hoskins is your leader. Bauman goes right around him on the back straightaway.
Now Mike Gresseth, the 17, going to take a look at the high side also. Gresseth up high, and Gresseth looks like he's going to grab the second position as they go down through turns 1 and 2. Indeed, he does down the back straightaway. Gresseth now chases down Cody Bauman in the 4.
Troy Heupel out of Williston trying to grab the 4th place spot. Makes up past Gresseth, he's got it. Bauman 52.4 mile-an-hour average last time around. And this time by, he'll be looking for the white flag. 1 lap to go to make the show.
Cody Bauman out of Eureka, Illinois, making it look easy in the black 4B machine. He'll coast down into turns 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, checkered flag flies for Cody Bauman.
So the new car is quick, and Cody Bauman earns a free pass to the Night 1 feature.
I mean, the thing's fast. I don't think we have to do anything to it as long as we redraw good. I mean, we're gonna be fast. So, I mean, the thing's ready to roll.
Heat 3 is headed for the track, and so is another Dirt Night. The 1ST of Johnny Scott from Las Cruces, New Mexico, who, while only 27 years old, is a dirt track racing veteran.
My uncle, he started racing stock cars out at the local dirt track in Las Cruces, and me and my brother, we fell in love with that right from the get-go, so we like, dang, that's what we want to do. So I ran street stocks for a half a season and then another full season, and then I moved into a modified when I was 12. And then ever since then, I've been racing for about 15 years.
With only the heat winner advancing to the feature, Johnny has some work to do. In his first heat of the tour, he'll start on the inside of row 3.
Green flag flies.
If you're out front, you try to grab the lead and drive away. And Christensen into Pfeiffer slightly as they come out of quarter 4. Pfeiffer gets to the flag stand first and leads lap number 1.
Pfeiffer has the 11 machine set on kill. That left front tire has hardly touched the track.
Johnny Scott up high. Steve Pfeiffer hugging the wall down low. Johnny Scott up high, and Scott drives by as they go into quarter 3. Can he make it stick? Out of the corner he comes, and Johnny Scott is your move in. Pfeiffer will try to fire back.
it's a battle for second, third, fourth, fifth. They're 4 wide going into turn number 3. Wow, how is there enough room for all those cars? And out of the fray comes Jason Grimes, the local driver. The number 99's up into second.
They go down the back straightaway in the corner, 3 and 4 for the final time. Out of the corner, past the flag stand. Another Dirt Knight wins it.
Johnny Scott drives away from the field and straight into the Night 1 feature. Stay tuned, our first look at the big show and a Drips Marriott head-to-head heat. Welcome back to Jamestown Speedway, where the Dirt Knights are duking it out on night 1 of the IMCA Dakota Classic Modified Tour.
Have you seen the track yet? Is it hammered down?
He's known as the Big Show, and Jason Walla of Ray, North Dakota has earned it as one of the most respected and aggressive modified drivers in the upper Midwest.
Probably have about 7-8 years in a modified. Was North Dakota State Rookie of the Year my first year in the modified. Knocked off a feature here and there for about 3-4 years. Then we moved into a Rage chassis in these last 3-4 years. Double-digit feature wins every year we've been in one of those, and I think we've progressed our program every year.
The Big Show is on the track right now in Heat 5. He's moved up 6 spots in just 4 laps, but still has 1 more pass to make.
Time's running out for the Big Show. The 27W's got to get closer if he's going to try and throw a big slider and take away the win from Dallas Rice. Down into turns 3 and 4. Oh, so close to going over the top of the racetrack. It's Rice, Walla, McGahey.
Walla on the gas again, trying to make a move down low. Dallas Rice looking really good in the 72 car. Walla trying to chase him down. White flag, 1 lap to go.
This would be the underdog story of the night so far. Dallas Rice now 2 car lengths over Walla for the final time. Car spinning down to turn number 3 and 4. Dallas Rice up high. Here comes Walla. It's a dash to the finish, and Dallas Rice is going to win it. Oh my.
So Walla ends up about a car length short and will have to run a B main.
Sucks having the fastest car and not winning.
The marquee heat of the night for Dirt Knights fans comes in Heat 9, as the veteran Corey Drips in the 31 lines up in the same heat with the 62 of Hunter Marriott.
Hunter Marriott's been the fastest guy in the country the first part of this year. Even when he's not winning races, he's been the fastest car on the track. He run second at the 50,000. He had the 10,000 wrapped up and clipped the tractor tire. He won the other night. He's just been consistently really, really good. So he's the guy that you try to get in his head and rattle him a little bit with a bunch of, verbal trickery. But he's a pretty sharp young guy. I wouldn't tell him that to his face, but he's wise beyond his years. He's a good little racer.
Out of the turn, green is out. Strand wants to get to the high side once again. Strand now racing through the middle of the racetrack. Seems to be plenty of traction. The white 99 out in front.
Tyler Wagner out of Weyburn, Saskatchewan in that red 77, trying to hold on to second. Brandon Wagner in second, Corey Drips in the 31D. Battle of Wagner for second. And the other 77 of Ryan Schroeder comes into the mix.
Now it's Hunter Marriott flexing a little muscle. The 62 down low. He's challenging for the 4th position inside Schroeder in the 77R. Down low, it's Marriott. Not enough racetrack to get by. Whoa!
Your new leader out of Weyburn, Saskatchewan is Tyler Wagner. Corey Drips running a second, Strand falls to 3rd. Marriott's running 4th. And now the youngster from Weyburn cuts it to 3 laps to go.
Tyler Wagner, Corey Drips, now Strand battling with Hunter Marriott for 3rd. Marriott chooses the high groove. That seems to be the quick way around. Strand slides up the track. Marriott crosses over, and Marriott grabs the third position with just 2 laps to go.
Corey Drips tagging on behind Wagner.
Oh, Wagner leaves the top lane open. Drips almost goes through. Here we come, white flag, one more to decide this one.
Drips down on the inside. Wagner drives by on the outside and takes him down the back straightaway. Drips now takes a look on the inside. Gas down the front, but Tyler Wagner's going to stave him off.
Second will be Corey Drips, third Hunter Marriott, fourth position in the 99 is Sean Strand.
A solid run for both Drips and Marriott, but not quite good enough to avoid a B main qualifier.
The racetrack is so one lane right now. God. Let's get it up in the air, pull both rear tires. We'll grind them both, and I'll figure out what changes I want to make for the B.
We was coming. I needed more compression in the left front. I'd go in there and get a little loose, but then I was so, like this to the center, I need less rebound. Yeah. That's the only problem I had. If I would have had that change around.
You just loose and then like you get to the center, you're like, wait.
Yeah, bad.
When Dirt Nights returns, qualifying for the Night 1 feature continues with B main action, where anything can and usually does happen.
I think we broke the motor.
It's night 1 of the IMCA Dakota Classic Modified Tour, and 3 Dirt Nights still need to qualify for the feature, including Hunter Marriott, who's on the track right now in B main number 1.
Out of the corner they come. There's the green flag. Kurt Lund shot out of a gun in the 87. Drives to the lead, and Hunter Marriott down on the inside of the 62. As they cut past the flag stand, your leader's the 87 of Lund.
Car was all pretty good. It was right around the top, and Jamestown, it's an all right racetrack. It's smooth, but it wasn't very racy tonight. It was around the top most of the night. They moved to the middle when it rubbered up and cleaned up, but I was running around the top, and the leader actually ran off the racetrack there about 4 or 5 laps into the race.
The cars are, your leader drives off the top of the racetrack. Kurt Lund, oh my. Pfeiffer now has a new combatant. It's Brad Hardigan in the 87X.
Hardigan dives down on the inside, can't quite get around Pfeiffer as they head down the back. Here comes Paul Stone, this time by the white flag, 1 lap to go.
I followed Paul Stone around there, which is a good buddy of mine. I was following him around there and took the white and went down into 3, and there's something laying on the track and got kicked up, and I nodded my head and blinked. I thought it was coming right at me. I ran off the racetrack.
Hunter Marriott up high in the racetrack. Oh no! Tombstone will win it. Pfeiffer in second. Third place goes to Hardigan. And Hunter Marriott slips off the high side and loses the transfer position.
Oh my.
Oh my.
I was trying to figure out what just happened, you know. Sometimes things happen so quick and a driver lets off the gas just the wrong way and you start sliding. It's like you picked up speed. It's definitely not a good feeling. You know you're going over before you go over it, but you know, it happens.
Luckily, as the defending Tour champion, Marriott has a provisional. So despite the mistake, Hunter will run the feature, but he'll have to start from the tail.
I'm gonna head up.
There's still one Dirt Night that needs to qualify for the feature, and it's Corey Drips in the 31.
We made a little J-bar change for this B main, and we changed the left front shock, trying not have the car fall on the left front so quick. So hopefully we made the right changes here. Boy, the track's really picking up a black stripe down here getting in. everybody wants to be.
Out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Corey Drips, Jason Grimes, the 911 of Josh McGahey.
Marlon Seidler in the 4th place spot, the outside looking in. The wily veteran needs to gain a spot to make it into tonight's A-Main. Here come your leaders out of the corner. It's Corey Drips. Jason Grimes still running in 2nd. Josh McGahey in 3rd. Followed by Seidler and David Brown.
Jason Grimes, a local driver, knows how to get around this racetrack. He gets a wheel up on the inside of Drips, but Drips has the drive off corner number 2. Drips back into the lead. Grimes going to work up on the high side of the racetrack. That opens the door for the 911 of Josh McGahey.
Drips begins to run away. Jason Grimes in 2nd.
Drips in the 31D, way out front. Another lap in the books, 2 to go. Grimes in 2nd, McGahey in 3rd, Seidler in 4th, David Brown in 5th, followed by Drew Christensen and Ryan Silver in the 77R.
Corey Drips will take the white flag one more time, says Dale McEwen, the head flagman. Grimes running in 2nd, McGahey still 3rd. Seidler's running out of time. Out of corner 4, Corey Drips is in the show.
A fantastic run for Drips, but as Corey pulls back to the pits, it's obvious something is terribly wrong with the 31 car.
I think we broke the motor. Not good.
Next time on Dirt Nights. Is the tour done before it even starts for Corey Drips?
Son of a...
And do any of the Knights have what it takes to run to the front of the Jamestown Speedway feature? We'll find out next time on Dirt Nights.